If you follow my channel, then you'll know that one of my favorite game series is Prince of Persia. I recently platinumed the classic trilogy on PS3 and someone on Reddit asked me if I'd be covering 2008 and Forgotten Sands. I remembered playing 2008 back in 2008 and kinda wanted to try it as I had some fun playing it back then, but remember how grindy it was. Anyway, I got a copy of the game from my nearest Kex store and started the game. Oh wait, before starting the game, I did check out the trusty trophy guide page to see all the trophies. This game has a total of 51 trophies, out of which we have 42 bronze, 5 silver, 3 gold, and finally the platinum trophy. Everything looked fairly straightforward except a couple of buggy trophies, but I thought it should all be fine and I moved forward. Okay, so we've started our journey in the middle of nowhere, where we are stuck in the middle of sandstorm, finding Farah just when we see a girl who's getting chased by some guards. We follow her and unlock a trophy for practically starting the game, lol. We see some guards ambush this girl and decide to intervene. And we now have to face against the first boss of this game. Now you might question me, oh, but this guy is just a normal enemy. Well, this game lets us fight one-on-one against an enemy and has more of that boss fight style of feel to it, even though the enemy is pretty weak. Anyways, during this fight, we push the enemy up against the wall, which got us another easy trophy. The girl scares off the other guard using her powers, and it seems she's jealous of Farah,
You and your girlfriend should get out of here.
who's not Farah from the classic game and is our donkey. This game has a more comedic tone to it compared to the older games, and I low-key love it. Moving forward, the guards push a boulder on us to stop us, which breaks the bridge, and just as we are about to fall and die, the girl comes to our rescue with her magical abilities, and we unlock another trophy. Oh, another thing to mention about this game is that we are basically immortal and cannot die, as the girl will always save us. I don't understand why Ubisoft went with this decision, but what can I say? They're Ubisoft. Anyway, the girl wants to go to a temple and we get another trophy for just asking where the temple is. The guy who's following us calls the girl Elicia and we locate the temple, which is under a gorgeous tree. Honestly, I was very impressed with how this game holds up in 2023. It looks fucking gorgeous. I love the stylized environment, which reminds me of a Ghibli art style, and it runs very smoothly. No matter what anyone says, Ubisoft does make gorgeous looking worlds. We get another trophy for completing the canyon area. At this point, I was like, this game's like a huge trophy bargain sale. Anywho, we enter the temple and Elicia tells us that there's a tree of life in this temple which holds Ahriman, who's an ancient evil god of darkness who was imprisoned within the tree after a cosmic struggle with his brother, or must. I probably butchered that name. The guy following Elicia turns out to be none other than her father, who's the ruler of this kingdom, which makes Elicia the princess, and we now have to fight him. During the fight, the father guy strikes and destroys the life tree, which makes the temple collapse. A strange dark creature appears in front of us and we now have to face it. Elicia joins the fight and we can use her abilities to push enemies. We escape the falling temple and it has gone all dark outside and we hear Ahriman's voice. Turns out that he hasn't fully escaped the temple and we need to stop him. We need to cleanse the fertile grounds, which are like these specific locations in the kingdom which once cleansed will stop Ahriman from escaping fully. We see a map with the location of the fertile grounds at the temple's entrance and move forward. Elicia can use a small light magic which will work as a compass. We use this and unlock a trophy. We can make small talk with Elicia and I remembered seeing this one trophy which requires us having some conversation with her. So I did just that and unlocked Getting to Know You. Moving forward, we see a vision where we see the king negotiating with Ahriman and find out about Ahriman's chosen guards who will be waiting for us at the grounds. We make our way to the first fertile ground where we see a huge creature waiting for us, who's the warrior, one of Ahriman's chosen generals. We ask a few more burning questions to Elicia, which gets us good company, and approach the grounds to face him off. Our attacks are basically useless against this guy and we need to push him out of the arena to beat him. Elicia then purifies this land, which drives away the darkness and makes the fertile ground fertile again. This gets us heal the land and strange light orbs appear everywhere. Well, these are light seeds which we need to collect in order to progress further in the game and get 10 trophies. There are a total of 1001 light seeds to collect in the world, and approximately 500 are needed for the story progression. Think of it like a Mario game where we need to collect a certain amount of moons or stars to progress further. I would say the difficulty of this game lies in collecting these 1000 light seeds, as we can't die and all. We get Deflect Master next for deflecting 20 attacks. We make our way to the next ground, which is home to the Concubine, who's another general who was once a seductive politician. This fight is very straightforward. I would like to mention about the combat of this game here. Honestly, it is very smooth and quite fun. We got the basic sword attacks, claw juggle, aerial attacks, and Elica's magic attacks. And we can perform a combination of all these different moves to perform various combos. We finish this fight and unlock Concubine Special for not using the grab attack during the battle. We then move on to the next area where we fight the Alchemist and defeat him without using any acrobatic attacks, which gets us Alchemist Special. I was trying to collect as many light seeds as possible after unlocking each ground. Collecting 100 of them gets us Light Seeds Finder. Up next came the Hunter fight, which I think looks the coolest out of the 4 generals. We beat him with rather ease and cleanse the ground. We go back to the temple where we unlock a new magical ability which we will need in order to traverse certain areas. There are a total of 4 abilities that we need to unlock, and each ability covers 4 areas which can be traversed using it. So the basic loop of the game is to collect the light seeds, unlock a new ability, go to the next area and beat the boss there. It is super repetitive, but I had fun playing through it, as the overall platforming, puzzles and combat was quite fun, and I don't know, I really loved how the game looks. It's very gorgeous for a game which was made 15 years ago. Also, as we travel to each fertile ground, Elicia reveals her past, like how her mother died and then how she died as well, and her father could not handle that grief and made a deal with Ahriman. He freed Ahriman, who resurrected Elicia in return. She also tells us about the history of the land and the 4 generals. Completing all the different boss fights and areas got me 6 boss specific trophies. And Savior of the City of Light trophy for healing all the land. We also unlock Blockmaster for blocking 50 attacks, Improviser, which was very random, Throwmaster for throwing 10 guards out of the arena, Speed Kill for killing enemies before they spawn, Harmony for performing 500 co-op jumps with Elicia, and collecting 1000 light seeds, which got me 8 more trophies. There are 4 time-based trophies for running from one specific location to another in X amount of time. We complete all these runs, which gets us 4 more trophies. There are also 4 different location-specific trophies for discovering certain locations, which were very easy again. Okay, so after completing pretty much everything, we make it back to the temple, which acts as a portal to another dimension. Entering this location gets us Explorer. At the top of this new area, we find the king, who seems to have now fused with Ahriman, and Loki looks like Raziel from the Soul Reaver games. This boss fight is pretty fun, as he uses different variations like blocking some of our attack patterns. After beating him, he fuses with the darkness even further to take a gigantic form, and we now need to evade him and cleanse the land. We get swallowed by him, and Elicia uses her magic to beat him for good, which gets us from darkness with light. Elicia sacrifices her life energy, which purifies the land again, and everything becomes normal, but she faints. We pick her up and stand still in shock for a bit, which wastes our precious time. We take Elicia outside the temple and see a vision of how this all began. We see some new trees which have grown around the area and understand that we need to cut these in order to revive Elicia. I love the detailing here that we can hear Ahriman whispering in the background. After cutting all the trees, we go inside the temple again and cut the final remaining tree of life, which gets us the final light seed needed and unlock Light Seeds Master. We use this light seed to revive Elicia, which turns all our progress to 0 and destroys the temple. We walk away from the darkness like a boss, completing the game and unlocking to be continued. We also unlock Be Gentle with Her for dying less than 100 times and Speed Demon for completing the game in under 12 hours. Okay, now only 2 trophies remained in our way of getting that platinum. Combo Master for unlocking every combo in the game, and Sword Master for performing a combo of 14 hits. The Combo Master trophy is a bit tricky and buggy as we can't really track the combos performed. I followed the video linked in the guide, which was very helpful. Another annoying part about this trophy is that sometimes while performing a combo, we can push the enemy to the edge of the arena, but it wouldn't be counted. So we need to make sure that the enemy is in the center of the arena. After a good hour of grind, we unlock this trophy. There's only one 14 hit combo in the game, and I wrote it down on a paper and followed it while fighting the first concubine fight, which gets us Sword Master, and finally unlock that shining platinum. I really liked this game in terms of how different it was, the stylized graphics and the smooth parkour. The only thing which I personally hated was the lack of challenge whatsoever and the repetitiveness of the game design. I think it was a good game overall despite those problems. Well, if you have made it this far into the video and liked it, then please do hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment if you like this game or leave any recommendations which you have for me. Thank you, and see you next time.
If I ever find that donkey. Carpet's this thick. This thick!